Welcome to the Metaphysical Journey. This is a look at the way ahead. Now, this is a message for the collective, but it's not exactly a collective reading. It will resonate with some, but not with everyone. For this, I'll be pulling from 4 different decks, and I have the Divine Energy Oracle, the Lantern Oracle, Nightfall Tarot, and Tarot Disassembled. Now, I've already shuffled and pulled cards and had a little bit of time to sit with these. So I think that'll make the reading faster, but also it allowed me to get some more information. So we're going to start with what you're looking at the week ahead, for some of you at least. And pulling from the Divine Oracle, Divine Energy Oracle, the card says forgive and forget. Forgive and forget. So I'll come back to this. What is that going to look like? How is that going to play out? And the second card that comes up from the Lantern Oracle is assistance with access. It is necessary to ask for and accept help in order to receive it. So these two right here, forgive and forget, there's something that it's like, whenever we hear that expression, forgive and forget, it means we've done everything we can possibly do. It hasn't really changed it. It's just time to say, you know what, forgive and forget, move on. Just move on. No longer worth it. It's created a lot of stress for some time. So this week, what you're going into is probably, it's a continuation of something that's been going on for quite a while. Now, how this plays out for you is different. It could be with a person, a group of people. It could be something in your own thoughts. I mean, this can go any number of ways for you, but it is something that you have been walking around with for quite some time, and it's caused you some stress and a lot of thought for sure. So, assistance with access. It is necessary to ask for and accept help in order to receive it. Asking for help is hard, but on this card, you'll notice that the young lady is holding a key, and that key is kind of lit up. There's a light there. There's a light coming down over her shoulder, and it's highlighting the key, which really indicates the type assistance with access. What is she trying to access? It's what you're going to need to access. It's that key, and that key is inside of you. You are the key. So this is not something that you really want to go and ask other people, what do I do? Because you may have been doing that for quite some time, and it's just not working. Whatever advice you're getting, it's not making it better. You've done all you can do. It's just time to forgive and forget. Let it go, move on. But this key, this is cool. This is the access. The key is what unlocks the access. So I really think that the lesson this week of what you're going to be looking at is really to go inward for this external situation that you're dealing with. Go inward because the answer is inside of you. You are the key to unlock whatever it is. Now, what are you going to be opening? Some type of a doorway? It could be a door to freedom. It could be you saying, I'm done. I'm going to unlock this door and get out. You may have felt that for a long time you're in some type of a confinement or prison or jail cell because of the situation. It's kept you trapped, and you're tired. You just want to move on. And what's kept you in that place for so long could be ego, yours or someone else's. It's like, I refuse to let this go. You know, I will rot and die before I blah, blah, blah. You know, is rotting and dying really worth it? No, it's time to move on. It's like whatever once the fight was or the challenge, you just don't have the passion for it anymore. It's no longer important. You have more important things to deal with, and it's time to open that and let yourself out. So I really think that that's what how this is going to play out. It's you finding the key to get out of whatever this is. And that key is inside of you. That key is your inner voice, your higher self, your desire, your wishes, speaking your truth, your authenticity. All of that is you. It's you unlocking something within inside yourself to say, I'm stepping out of this shell and out of this hell and moving on. So how what's going on behind the scenes to make you feel this way to where you say, I'm ready. And so I pulled from Nightfall Tarot. I pulled 2 Tarot cards and then a clarifier for each. So for this, I'm using Nightfall Tarot and then Tarot Disassembled. Now, the Tarot Disassembled, you'll know it when you see it. So the first one is 7 of Wands. This is what's happening. 7 of Wands is about standing your ground, fighting, constantly struggling, just feeling like you're on the defense. So if you look at the cards, you see the person standing there and they have their wand raised and they're ready to fight if they have to. They're not swinging, but they're prepared. They're in a defensive posture. Now, we don't see who's holding the wands below, but this person is on the high ground. So they're at the higher level here. So they are looking down at the situation in front of them and they're ready to defend. What I've always liked about this card is that the person is wearing 2 different shoes. Now, I notice shoes on everything and everyone. That's the first thing I check out. What are their shoes like? Because you can tell a lot of person about the shoes. But I digress. On this one, you have the person with 2 different shoes. So it gives you the impression they dressed in a hurry to get out there and defend themselves. So this could be something coming up. This decision you have to make, it may be something that comes out of the blue. You've been dealing with this, whatever it is, for quite some time, and it's like become the status quo. It's just enough to bug you. But something's going to happen this week where you're going to have to stand up on your own moral high ground and say, no. And you have to be the final defender of you, your word, your opinion, your thoughts, whatever this is that you've been struggling with someone else. And in this card, we don't see who it is. It could be people. It could also be within yourself. You're struggling with your own thoughts and decisions that you need to make, and you don't know what to do. And you're seeking answers out there, but the answer is inside of you. So if you're struggling with yourself, because again, on the card, we don't see who's there. If you're struggling with the inner demons, you have the answer. You hold that key. It's time to say, you know what? I'm going to step out there in faith, take my wand, be prepared to fight for this, but I'm going to move forward. The next card that came up from the Nightfall Tarot is another thing that's going on this week is you have the 8 of Cups. Now, this is a bit, I mean, could we get any more grim? But it's not bad, actually. The 8 of Cups it's about moving on. So you see the person walking away and it's in the moonlight. So it's like they're not slinking off into the night. They're not just, trying to creep away. They've decided, I'm done. I've spent enough days on that, whatever that is. I spent enough. I'm ready to move on. I'm going to pack up and leave and just move forward with my life. And you'll notice that the cups are in the background. So there's a lot of stuff there. There's some opportunities, different things the person once was very passionate about. They're moving on from it. They're like, I'm leaving it all behind. It's not worth it. I don't want to take any of that with me. I want a fresh start, just me and my wand. The same type of staff or wand that the 7 of Wands was holding. Now in the 8 of Cups, the person is taking that and moving forward, moving on, leaving in the middle of the night, just leaving. And the next day people will say, whatever happened to them? Where'd they go? It's like, I don't know. I woke up and they were gone. So this is one of those situations this week. This is a pretty big moment. Now, I want to go back to the 7 of Wands for a minute because this is where they are. The 8 of Wands is like the wands all come flying in. It's about movement forward, energy, taking charge, just moving. So that's what's going to happen. So what would be the 7 of Wands? The 8 of Wands, the 8 of Cups kind of shows the same thing. So it is about forward movement from whatever it is that you have felt you've spent way too much time in. The clarifier for the 7 of Wands, what's happening behind the scenes on that is the 5 of Pentacles. Now, this is a card. So this, because it's pentacles, this is something could be to do with the material goods, with your money, with your job, your career, your security. and safety, things that are involved in those material things. So with the Five of Pentacles, if you look at the card, this is the Disassembled card. Now you see why I said that before, because you have the key components. You have a crutch. So it's like, either what you've been dealing with has become a crutch, or you feel like you're kind of wounded because of it. You're walking away somewhat battered from this. You're not skipping. You've taken some wear and tear because of whatever this is you've been dealing with. You have the Band-Aid. You have the bell. It's like, it's time to move on. And you also have the little foot. You have the stained glass window. So this is about feeling like you have been on the outside of something, kind of on the outskirts of it, or you've been rejected, or you feel that way. You put so much into it, whatever this is, and you just feel like it was kind of a loss. Remember, in the Eight of Cups, all those cups are left there. They're just walking away from it. So you may have put a lot of energy and effort into whatever this is, and it's just no longer working. For the next clarifier, so that was for the Seven of Wands. The clarifier for the Eight of Cups is justice. And that's what's happening, is that you're finally making a judgment call on this. Justice is served. You're like, no, it doesn't balance out anymore for me. I have to make this final call, as hard as it is. I cannot unsee what I've seen, and I have to move forward. So because it's the Justice card, it's a major arcana card, this is actually a big change for you. This isn't an ordinary every day of the week type of thing. This is huge. So this week, there is a transformation happening here in this particular area, this theme of your life, about asking for help and seeking inward guidance from yourself, and saying that you have to make the call. So this is big with the Justice card. You're calling it. You've looked at it, and it just doesn't measure up, doesn't pass the test anymore with you, and you have to move on to be authentic and true to yourself. So those are the cards. I know I opened with a Divine Energy Oracle card, and I wanted to end with one kind of a advice from spirit or your guides, however you want to call it. And I pulled a card before, and actually two came out. So I'm going to do with both of them. And the first card is do something different. And that makes sense. If you have the Eight of Cups, it's like, let's move on to something else. And then you have the Seven of Wands. It's like you're tired of fighting about all the past stuff and whatever it was you were involved in. It's time to do something different, move on. And the last of that, the two, was begin to explore. There's a whole world out there for you. If you look again at the Eight of Cups, this is it's actually a very haunting card to me. It's, in one way, you could look at it and say, I'm off to find myself. I'm off for freedom. Here we go. But Eight of Cups shows, first of all, it's at nighttime. It's dark. This person is leaving in the middle of the night, and all he has is the moon in front of him to kind of guide the way. So he's not exactly certain where he's going. And if you look at the card, he has his staff, but he's also looking down. And so he's really having to see where he's walking. And he's leaving a lot behind. There was a lot of passion there. Each of those cups represents people, years, passion, projects, you name it. So much was invested there, and he's walking away and leaving it all there. He's taking nothing. It's a brand new start. While you may say, well, that's exciting, for him and how you're possibly feeling now, it doesn't feel so exciting. You feel like you have worked so hard. You've given so much, and it wasn't enough. So now you have to move on to find something different. So there's two sides on this one, and that could be how you're feeling this week. And it's scary to move on from something because, at least with the Eight Cups, he knew what was in them. He knew what they contained. We don't know what the future holds. And that's where it's scary, and you have to walk by faith. And me saying you have to walk by faith is easy for me to say that, But it's scary for every single person that does that, because faith comes into play when we can't see what's ahead of us. It's faith in the unknown, the things that you can't see. That's scary. Sometimes it's called blind faith, because that's exactly what you are. You are walking blindly into something new with no idea what lies ahead. And that's kind of the walk of the Eight of Cups. Walking into the night, only the moonlight, so you have a lot of shadows, but you have just enough courage to see where it needs to take you. And that's what you move forward into. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and whatever you're facing, I believe it will be okay. Just remember this reading and these cards. Everything happens for divine timing and for divine purpose. Remember the Major Arcana card of justice. Sorry, I had to look it up. Of justice shows that it's time for this to happen. This is a big change, a big shift for you. So it's important. Good luck, and thank you for following me on the metaphysical journey. Have a beautiful week.